Alright, everyone, welcome to the Lesser Saints of Discord, your one and only pre-show to Laughing Scoundrel podcast. We've got one more week without Jables, apparently. At least one more week. He's trying to get everything settled, but we miss him.
But we captured a Canuck.
Hello.
So, take that for what it is. Deana in the chat. Wow, speaking of Canuck.
Yeah, life got crazy real quick. I know that feeling. I had that feeling last week.
Apologies to any viewers for lack of show last week. Things have been crazy for pretty much everybody. You know, Jables is still going through his stuff. She had some personal issues that he had to attend to. And we just made the executive decision that it was show.
Yeah, I had some stuff going on in my life, having to do with my wife. No, she was not cheating.
Like, God damn it, man. You haven't even been married 2 weeks.
2 weeks as of tomorrow, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, she was not cheating. So that's not what it is. I think the Hindenburg in the background kind of sums up what has been what we've been dealing with lately.
This is, at this point, it's like this is just this year. That's the only fucking explanation you have to give anymore.
Yeah. Nothing shocks me.
All right.
Although,
All right, let's start talking shit about each other or someone else or anything but politics.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's dear God, let's not talk about shit that's going on in politics recently.
Yeah, and we're open to having people hop on the show.
I mean, like, when the most interesting thing, in my opinion, that's happened in American politics recently is an insect landing on a certain punkhead's forehead. That's pretty fucking sad.
Mm-hmm.
That fly was awesome.
Woohoo,
Larry!
Damn, 1 year, tier 1, very cool tonight.
Larry. If the fly invaders, he better see them to full term.
Hey, guess what? We have the fire extinguisher.
Oh, do we?
We have the fire extinguisher. It's officially accepted.
Nice.
Nonetheless, let's go with let's go with the let's go with the scotch.
I mean, technically, the lore is confirmed that alcohol led to the fire extinguishers. Fucking Larry. I don't think Twitch would let us get away with it.
What do you say?
Yeah.
Where's the pussy it's supposed to go in
at? Not close at hand.
I mean, I'm sure there's a generic cat emoji.
We'll just get a cat and put it in there. But we'll need we'll need more subs for that. We'll need 25 subs in a single period.
See, here, have a cat.
There we go.
Yeah, but that becomes animal cruelty. I'm not okay with animal cruelty.
Yeah.
Except with chihuahuas, those things suck.
Challenge accepted.
It's the dog that's meant to be punted. Don't actually
God
do
damn
that.
it, Jables! It's too fucking early for Christmas.
Don't actually punt any aminals.
Hey, certain spiders are all right, in my opinion. Roy, that would be perfect. Oh,
Spiders aren't animals, they're arachnids.
arachnids are animals.
I don't give a fuck. They're closer to insects as far as I'm concerned.
Insect are animals too.
Insects are insects. They are worthy of nothing but contempt. Except when you're, I don't know, the kind of person who actually studies them. Wow, we don't actually have anyone in the waiting room.
No one cares about us.
Who wants to talk to me?
Of course no one cares about us. We're useless.
I love how most of the people watching right now are moderators. This is
Kimmy
like one big
Parsons, I
authoritarian
think,
circle.
is the only non-moderator. Talking, at least.
It's like one big authoritarian circle right now.
It's not a circle jerk. It's octagonal. Yeah, looks like Kimmy Parsons is the only person who's not a mod in here.
Kimmy.
Oh, and I don't see her in the users. So scared her off.
Yeah, she disappeared. That sucks.
Skull is gone too. He was here earlier. Some asshole is revving a dirt bike outside. I'm about to go and give him a piece of my mind.
Hi, Deana.
Oh, hi.
Speak, big dude.
Oh, haha. No, I had to mute the screen. My technical difficulty.
Don't we know about those?
Right? And Kimmy may be back and forth because, like, Kimmy drops offline, or it could be.
Hey, Jables!
Jables.
Hey,
What? You were supposed to be back till next week. You fucking lied to me.
How do I sound?
you sound okay.
Not
You
awful.
sound like you're by a street.
You sound like Dragon in the Wet.
No, it's not that bad.
I can
It's not quite that.
way if you want to keep feel better.
Well, it's fine because I have the software cutting out most of the background noise on him.
Let's stay away from the raging traffic.
Good to hear your voice, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just popping in for a minute. I gotta eat everything.
Yeah. That reminds me, I haven't eaten anything. Probably should have done that.
Yeah, I popped in, grabbed a couple of bites of cold tortellini, and yeah.
Hey, there are worse things on the planet than cold pasta.
Larry. Hey, guys, just getting a Frappuccino real quick with my window open at 120 mile an hour.
Hey, don't joke. That's a fun speed on a motorcycle.
Right?
Oh, God. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
So I should be in a new place by next week, or might be the end of the month. I don't know yet. So,
Jables is moving,
Excellent.
and that is why he's not on the show. He doesn't have a dedicated place to do the show.
Right.
Yeah, that can be a little troublesome.
Just a bit.
Yeah, I'm staying at my sister's place. I'm not having a smoke right now.
Nice.
Yeah. So instead of the smoke break being when he like leaves, when we can't hear him, we only get to hear him when he's on the smoke.
Right.
But Jables, you have to make your smoke breaks like Canuck smoke breaks. You know, good 20, 30 minutes long.
And meaningful.
3 to 4 hours long.
No, this smoke break needs to be at least an hour and 15 minutes long.
Right.
I might be able to pull that off. I don't know.
See, what we're not hearing, like what he's not telling us, is he's out there, like propositioning himself. He's dancing coins. Fucking
He's
Bojang up there.
He's
Just
actually
getting
trying to turn a trick.
Oh my god.
I'm hear back from references so I can put that down in my application for an apartment.
Out there approaching random strangers, telling them it's an state.
It's worth it, man. It's worth
There's
it.
a guy that lives. There's a guy that lives in an RV. He's pretty chill. I give him food every now and then. He's gonna give me a good review. So.
Well, according to Larry, apparently you got a deep ass voice now.
Oh yeah.
No, that's what he said.
Cool.
Oh,
I think it's mainly due to acoustics.
Yeah, it's his. I'm sure it's stupid. So.
Oh no, it's all due to the microphone I'm using.
Yeah.
Scary to say. There's only one position for a person with a deep voice on this show, and I'm filling it. Wait.
Yeah. I'll be back to my regular mic in mode. Hopefully.
Jables go and get the latest. Larry. I love Larry.
Canuck purity rules.
Jables. Can you believe it? Fucking Larry's been with us for a fucking.
Damn it, Larry.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Jables, our late
Yeah,
bloomer.
And on top of that, that means we've been monetized for a year. That's why I decided to pop on.
Oh, is that the old reason?
Yeah, Larry is our yardstick. He's been monetized since day one, practically. Or he's been, not monetized. He's been a sub for the entire time we've had monetization, practically. So we just go based off that.
Well, he's been a sub for a lot longer than that. We all.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Realistically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's still funny that it's like, how long have we been making money? How long has it been?
I was going sexual with it, but you guys can talk money. That's fine.
I think they don't need to be mutually exclusive.
I mean, Larry's talking about yardsticks up asses, so I think he's going with the sexual angle too.
Yeah.
And we combine money and it's capitalism.
Sweet, sweet capitalism.
You'll be in that apartment before you know it.
Yeah.
You'll be making time with lotion before you know it.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna get the whole sob story, and hopefully they'll let me move in next week.
Nice.
That'll be awesome.
And for everybody, I'm gonna come back with stories and shit. I'll talk about everything that's gone on since I've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know you'll talk about it, but I don't want to take that away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be sitting comfortably in my chair with my microphone in front of me when I do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like I also kind of have something planned for this month. I'm not going to do it until the whole nest is back.
I want to know about this. DM me about that.
It's
Yeah.
a surprise.
Like I said, like I'm just going to wait until you're back so we can discuss because it could potentially be very entertaining. Probably not for me, but potentially for everybody else. Right. In fact, probably definitely not for me. It's probably going to suck really bad. We have to suffer for our art at times.
This is art? I thought this was banned in 3 countries.
At least.
Are we banned yet? Hey, do we have any Chinese users in the chat? Can you still see us?
I don't think they'd be watching even if they could. Because we say "fuck you, China" so often.
Larry,
I'm surprised Twitch hasn't got on a case.
there is going to be another serious Saturday. We're still discussing the details. Shit came up. But yes, there will be another serious Saturday. Not going to say when, just at some point. Coming to you live from Jables Freeway Sounds.
That one's really fun.
Well, except that no one but you guys can hear it. I can't hear the freeway sound.
Wow.
The
You're missing out.
those watching the
How dare
stream
you
can't hear
deny
the freeway
the-
sound.
How dare you deny our listeners the full Jables experience?
Right?
Because ear rape is not fun.
Says you.
Well, what you and Addie do is up to you guys. I don't give a shit about that.
Hey, you don't know shit about what I do with him because I haven't talked about it.
Like I said, whatever you do is up to you guys because I don't fucking care. It's your private life. I don't give a rat's ass.
I can spill all the details right here. He ain't gonna do anything about it.
It's true.
Twitch will.
That's right.
Yeah. Jables and PHX.
Oh,
Well, it's good to hear you back online, at least somewhat, Jable.
Ooh.
Nice to hear the voice again.
yeah.
Damn, Larry's pulling no punches tonight.
Bam,
Yeah.
bam.
What'd he do this time?
Oh,
Don't
shit.
meet Dean and talk sex to Rimshee. He just got married.
All downhill from here, my dude.
Mm.
No, it gets really bad when she gets pregnant.
Right?
What do you mean it gets bad? Why would it get bad?
Because not only am I not getting any, she's also moody as fuck.
But see, that's not necessarily true because some women during the pregnancy they go through a time where you'll get as much sex, maybe even more than what you want.
Duly noted.
It's really weird. Yeah. Anyway, so the hormone changes aren't all bad, my dude.
Alright, fair enough.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
think we should.
That boy joke there.
I think we should let Jables finish his smoke and he can wander back to Hobo Tent that's residing in currently.
God damn it, Larry.
Do we still have Jables?
Oh,
Don't know if we did. I mean,
okay.
I mean, he's still technically here.
Right. Maybe he's got us muted because there's something really loud happening.
He's here with us in spirit.
Right. But, oh,
Well, this is boring as shit. I'm going to get a drink.
all right.
wow.
There's no entertainment value here. I
Um,
don't know why people are watching.
Should have articles.
right.
We have articles. Atten finally rejoined us as a viewer, and you know what that means. Abso-fucking-lutely nothing.
High skull.
Hi, Scully.
Go!
According to Larry, we need more ass talk.
Absolutely.
So, apparently I have this nice bubble ass.
Nice.
At least that's what I've been told.
By Ms. Rimshee.
By Miss Rimshee, by exes, by,
Me.
yeah, Jables has said it too. I totally forgot about that one.
Barr's here.
Oh, hey, Barr.
There's a bar!
All right, guys. So I'm gonna hang out for the rest of the show.
Hey, Jables, you have a good night, dude. Or you're going to hang out or you're going to take off?
Yeah, I'm hanging out.
Oh, well, even
You
better.
gonna stay here? Yay.
I can't read articles though. I'm on my phone. So
That's fair.
We barely have anything set up for reading articles. They're articles from like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
okay.
Jables is staying, Bart.
Like, there's one about there's one from weeks ago about how 2/3 of young adults in the U.S. don't know about the Holocaust being a real thing. We could talk about a New York City gun buyback program.
Oh my lord.
I'm back. When has one of these buyback programs not failed catastrophically?
Oh, what's even better is you can see clear airsoft, or at least, yeah, clear airsoft pistols in there because of the orange fucking tip.
So fucking people were just deliberately trolling them. That's great.
No, I think the orange tip is helpful because around here, sort of right before the quarantine, we arrested a stormtrooper. So, just saying.
I remember that bullshit.
Yep, I drove by as it was happening. I was like, "What the hell is going on over there?" I'm like, "Huh, stormtrooper getting arrested. That's odd." Boom, national news. I'm like, "Figures."
Oh shit, Bart's here?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, sort of just noticed that Bart's here.
Bart, you show up now, but you couldn't be fucked to show up during the batch. I see how you roll. We had a really good time without you.
Oh no, I think we're gonna scare Skull away if we keep having Barr in here. Oh no.
Oh no.
It really is just an octagonal jerk of moderators in the chat.
Well, we need to get more viewers.
Bar's just going to become like the moderator omnipresent at this point.
Honestly, Larry, I would not be upset. There are worse situations. There are worse people I could see doing that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like me.
Like
Oh,
Jables.
them.
Right?
I mean, Bar's got the fucking brutal motherfucker. That works with some people.
What? Crooked and
Oh,
incestuous?
Kratos.
What is that in reference to?
I mean, like, I know we don't get political here. That's pretty damn political.
That's pretty political, but what the hell is that in reference to? Oh, this
Oh,
all
Barry.
Baby.
I mean, fair enough.
Sneaking up your yang. Oh, they're pretty great tonight.
Jeez, man, we should just call this episode the mod stream.
Oh yeah, we never came up with a name for it. So it's still labeled as Rimshee's last week as a free man.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. It's like, well, that's kind of out of date.
That's kind of really out of date.
Larry, you don't want to fucking see that.
I already
You
am.
really, really don't.
I am streaming naked. You don't know what I'm doing. I know Jables has pants on purely because he's in his sister's place.
Hope so.
Fucking actively changing the title of the show as we're streaming. Because,
If
without
you were to
Jables,
start just
shit doesn't go in.
Bar, if you were to just start unquestionably being nice to people, I'd probably have to have you.
That'd be a great April Fool's Day prank.
Well, and no, it was just shocking. Nobody could contemplate Barr being nice all day. Just everybody's brain.
Yeah, apparently people have offered to pay to join a Patreon that Barr has. Well, he doesn't actually have it, but like if Barr were to create a Patreon where one of the tiered rewards was being nice to you, there are people who would join that to pay for and pay for Barr to be nice to them.
Capitalism.
I see, like, Bar here is like, like, oh, I can be nice to people. It's usually the last thing they see. It's like, you know what? You're more diabolical than that, Bar. And I'll explain why. Because you're nice to me. You're nice to me relatively frequently lately. But you won't put me out of my fucking misery. Fucking bastard. Why do you torment me?
I gotta step away.
See? He admits it.
Aha.
In all seriousness, for as prickly as he is, Bar's
Barr is good people.
Amen.
Even if you get on his bad side, he's fair.
It's not his fault that some people just can't.
Right?
This is not in reference to anything specific.
Oh, no. No running off a cliff references here. I will sue you for slander, Rimshee.
What'd I say?
Just make sure you don't take everything from him, Bum. His wife still has to get some stuff in.
She's not gonna divorce me. I already told her before we get married, I'm not giving you a divorce.
Not an
She's-
option.
Yeah, she's stuck with me.
The choices are natural causes or the shot.
Like the shotgun's even an option. I don't know what it is. My bitrate has been fucking dumb. Snitch on me
Popping
for
up for me a little
what?
bit, but
Oh, I know what's going to happen. They're going to sell you out to the Clintons.
Oh, so I'm going to commit suicide with 2 shots to the back of the head?
yep.
Yeah,
The best way.
you're surprisingly talented. You didn't even know it.
What the
So,
hell
yeah.
is with my internet lately? I gotta check with my internet provider, see what the hell is going on, because there's no way in hell I'm getting the speed I'm supposed to be getting.
Well, maybe you thought you were getting the speed you're supposed to be getting, but your dyslexia caused you to misinterpret it.
I don't know, it's saying I got plenty of speed, but and that's on my cell phone, which is wireless, and my computer's connected hardwired.
No idea.
Hey, I get the copter? I actually get to own that copter? I'll own that copter. I'm cool with that. No, she's streaming stuff for work. Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues right now. She's probably going to be very busy Monday, Wednesday, Friday because of her work schedule. It's fucking dumb. And you know what? That's probably what's killing that going to be killing the internet periodically around here.
My internet's actually fucking up. I'm gonna have to just be in chat, guys.
All
Oh,
right.
okay, Diddles.
Nice to hear from you one last time.
Yeah.
We'll talk soon, my dude.
Yeah, hopefully. So, see you guys.
See ya.
Like,
Later.
who said anything about enabling fuckboys?
What
Who's enabling
happened while I
fuckboys?
was gone?
Damn it, Larry! Stop putting weird ideas in people's heads.
Who the fuck enables fuckboys? They're not worth enabling. You disable that setting on the TV and you just go about your life. It's that simple. All of a sudden, all I hear in the background is a poor British accent.
I don't know, Barr. I don't see you in the fucking waiting room.
He wouldn't have to be in the waiting room. He has the regular guest role. He could literally just pop into live show.
Yeah, so you have even less of an excuse. I'll call him out. I don't give a shit.
Maybe.
So, I was in a conversation the last couple of nights with a very distressed and very disappointed lady.
Aw.
Yapping.
Oh, there you are.
Congratulations, this stream is ruined.
By
the way, there is
not
no saying
because
that
of
you're all
you.
gonna die.
It's not ruined because of you. It's just ruined.
We're not all gonna die. You wouldn't. Fuck.
You wouldn't
I mean,
kill us.
eventually. I didn't say now, and I didn't say it was going to be painless. No promises, no
Don't
refunds.
use me.
Oh God, I should put that on my Tinder bio.
No,
Yes.
no promises, no refunds.
No refunds.
Get those tourist girls. Hap and
Get what you
slap.
paid for, whether you wanted it or not. Yeah, he was relating to me that, yeah, I guess the ending to the second season of The Boys is really shit.
Second
Oh,
season of
I
what?
haven't watched that.
The Boys.
Oh.
I haven't seen the second season.
Yep, that's two of us.
Yeah.
I've been putting it off because I didn't want to wait week.
Right, you wanted to binge it.
I'm not going to say anything about it, just Addie was very, very emotional, it turned out.
Damn it.
That's sad. That makes me sad.
I said, like, I can understand why, because what he was telling me, dog shit. Pure dog shit.
I just want the Orville to return to Hulu.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Looking
sure as fuck
fucking
starts.
forward to it, motherfucker.
No, all you get is STD.
No. That's coming back. They approved it.
Yeah, much like STDs.
God fucking knows why. But they also approved Picard for a second season.
Wow.
Fucking Christ.
Why?
Would it be unpopular for me to say that I wish that Patrick Stewart would just die already so they could stop desecrating that character's corpse?
Jeez.
You know what? I wonder what Steve Shives' view on Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard is.
Like,
Because
I
he's a
don't
huge
care.
Star Trek fan, but he's also Steve Shives.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that guy even alive?
Yes,
No,
with his moist
seriously.
lips. I'm pretty sure he's alive.
I don't know. With the amount of people he's blocked on Twitter, it's hard to check in.
I mean, in a way, he's been quarantining himself for years.
Yep.
But yeah, it's, you know, like, oh, let's look at our options. It's like, we got Star Trek Discovery. Fuck. We got Star Trek Picard.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Fuck.
Yes, Barr. Steve Shives is still alive. 3 hours ago, he
I
tweeted,
want-
brand new late setting podcast. Or late seating podcast. It's the first super spooky show of October. Listen as we review the Universal horror classic, The Wolfman.
Huh.
I would laugh my dick off if he has
If he has what?
less viewers than us. Who the fuck cares about Steve Shives at this point? Oh yeah,
No,
continuing on. Like,
yeah.
oh,
What
we got Star Trek Lower Decks. Jeez.
Could we not? It's like, let's take Rick and Morty and make it way less funny.
So I was talking to a friend. I was mentioning, yeah, I'm watching DS9, and she was like, "Oh, I love Star Trek." Oh, have you seen the latest ones? No, I haven't seen them. Probably for the best. If
I
you're
haven't seen a lot of Discovery. What I did see about made me throw my computer out the window.
I actually went through most of season 1. Then I just gave up.
I
can't
saw
wait
a
to see what's gonna
breakdown
get
of
better.
episode 1. I saw a breakdown of episode 1 of Picard.
No, you had a breakdown during episode 1. That's different, Rimshee.
Yeah.
No, both could happen. You don't know.
Ha!
I got to the point where our Lord and Savior can do no wrong and is the bestest ever. Michael Brennan was having a telepathic cross the galaxy communication with Savick. It's like, my mouths don't work like that! God damn it!
That's a great Sire impersonation.
Ugh.
Just saying.
Yeah, that
But
was.
yet, you can't expect any kind of coherence.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like
I mean,
when during the Last Jedi, they're like, oh, there's gonna be a new force power. There's gonna be a new force power that we've never seen before, and it turns out it's force healing, and they're expecting everyone to get pissed off by it, and everyone's just
That
like,
was the Rise of Skywalker.
we know.
Yeah.
No,
Where's the new power?
The Last Jedi introduced fucking Force.
Yeah, because we all needed that.
No, what happened with the Rise of Skywalker is like it's like this totally brand new thing because we completely threw away the expanded universe and we want you to forget that it exists.
Ha! Like if it was for Skype, they would have frozen place for 4 or 5 seconds at a time, then broke off.
Also, the fact that again, this is just another high-level force power that Rey just gets because fuck.
At least force projection is kind of interesting, and it is relatively newish.
I don't know. The best thing coming out of Star Wars right now is The Mandalorian. I can't wait for
fuck
season
yeah.
2 to drop.
Season 2 is
Force
dropping
projection
what?
is one thing. Being able to teleport physical matter to other people in different locations? No. No, 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 no.
The Force affects the physical world. It doesn't control the physical world.
This bitch literally sends a dude a lightsaber. She sends him a lightsaber through the Force.
So she, I think
The Force
Jeff
isn't
Bezos wants
subspace.
words with you now.
I guess this is another Star Trek episode. Let's fuck Star Trek and Star Wars episode. Let's fucking tear down Star Wars. Talk shit about new Trek. Actually, you know what? Speaking of Trek, yesterday I watched I was watching Star Trek DS9, and it's the first time in a while I've watched the series. But I got to the Hard Times episode. Holy fuck! I forgot how hard that episode is to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Which season is this?
I think it's season 3, season 4.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch it then.
Yeah, it's the episode where O'Brien is punished for what the government thinks is espionage. So he gets put in prison for 20 years, but the prison is actually all in his head.
Oof.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that one. I actually just started rewatching DS9 too, but I'm still in the first season.
That one's really hard because it deals with PTSD and whatnot. Oof. That's a hard one.
Back when Star Trek was still intelligently written maturely.
Well, can't have that these days.
Can't have anything written well.
Well, one of the main problems is that the people who are currently reading Star Trek know nothing about Star Trek
No,
because they never
Of course
fucking
not.
watched it.
no, because
this
they
is
don't. Yeah,
Blatantly obvious in Star Trek Picard.
Look,
when
the only
Picard-
qualifications to be a writer these days is you have
Well-
to be stunning and brave.
Well, considering that Picard was was one of the producers, or he had a high level
Patrick
position.
Stewart can stay, which was a mistake.
Like with Patrick Stewart being in an advisory role, like being high up in the production and whatnot, I thought, okay, Picard might actually turn out good. I'm willing to give it a chance. First episode fucking destroyed every shred of hope I had for modern Trek.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
Picard
though.
is-
Is like if you watch any recent interviews of Patrick Stewart, you see that he's one of those. And again, I don't want to go too far into this. It's the way it is. He's another one of these sycophantic, far left, limp dick, pussy, whiny.
Alright, this is too far into politics, but we get the
Yeah.
point.
He is
He's
that
very
fucking
left
type of-
leaning. We'll just stick with he's very left leaning.
I mean, most people in showbiz are, so it shouldn't be a surprise to us. But
But it
He should
used to
just keep it
produce
to
good
himself.
movies. It used to produce good movies. Nowadays, it's like littered with ideology. And I don't want ideology when I'm watching a fucking movie or a fucking TV show. Beyond
I
a
don't wanna feel
beyond a
like I'm
certain
being
point.
lectured by my entertainment.
yeah,
Like what I
because
really
we
like.
always got ideology. Like you go
What I
back to
really-
even
yeah,
classic
what I
Star Trek,
really
you had
liked about-
commentary.
What I really liked about Trek back in the day, and again another DS9 episode. I forget which one it is, but it's the one where they land on the planet. Where's that? Where there's that field that prevents them from using any of their modern technology. They actually go ahead and present both sides of that argument that's going on in the show, and they do a really good job of it. Nowadays, it's like, here is the correct side, here is the not correct side, and we're gonna beat you with it like it was a hammer.
Remember when entertainment was fun and not just a fancy trip to the principal's office?
Yeah,
But that was
because
the
nuance takes talent, though. And again,
Yeah.
you're just full of hacks.
I say, these people, they don't care about these series. They've never even watched these series. They just know that it's popular and they can use it as a fucking platform for their fucking horseshit.
Okay. Yeah,
Because there's a moment in Picard, and Rimshee posted a video. There's a moment in Picard where Picard asks some bitch if it's possible to create an android that's basically indistinguishable from human. She tells him that's impossible, even though there was an entire Next Generation episode about a woman that they found who is an android and doesn't even realize that she's a fucking android.
And no one realizes she's an android except for Data, and the only reason he realizes it is because of the the algorithm that controls her blinking. He recognizes that her blinking rhythm is based on a specific algorithm or something along those lines, and it's too regular for it to be biologically random. And based on that tiny bit of info, they realize that she's an android.
The whole point of the episode is the moral dilemma of do we tell her?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the only reason they are absolutely certain is when she jumps, her arm comes off. Beyond that, everyone around her thought she was human, and she thought she was human.
Like I said, when that line comes up in Picard, it's these motherfuckers have never watched this.
Yeah.
You could not make that mistake if you actually knew anything true.
Oh, the amount of times that Picard in TNG got annoyed about people making fun of his French heritage, or we're asking about that stuff, and then he in Picard makes absolute ass work of pretending to be a Frenchman.
Oui, oui. It's
Basically,
fucking embarrassing.
Mhm.
And just like at this point, like they're oversaturating like a mother. As I said, like they've got Star Trek Discovery, they've got fucking Star Trek Picard, they've got Star Trek Lower Decks. They're planning a fucking Star Trek series for like Nickelodeon, or like a kids version of it.
Oh, they're gonna squeeze that shit for all it's worth. Come on.
Like they have another show like fucking Star Trek Brave New Worlds that they're trying to push now.
What?
Apparently there was they even had a Star Trek show based on Section 13, which you better fucking leave that alone, Paramount. Don't. Section 13 is some of the best shit from Deep Space Nine. You fucking leave that shit alone.
Mhm.
they already destroyed Section 13 in Discovery. Like it makes practically everyone in that show becomes an agent,
Mm.
or at least that's what it seems like. But honestly, the way I see it, the only modern Trek that is real Trek is the Orville.
Yeah. Surprisingly good for what it is.
It's a
Made by a
comedic
Star fan.
it's a comedic homage to TNG that has become the spiritual successor.
Mhm. Oh God, Larry. That's a cookie show.
Star Trek,
Today,
the cooking show. I mean, give it time, dude.
today we are going to learn how to make.
I'd watch that. I've never seen this episode of Star Trek, so that's why I've been quiet because I don't understand.
Oh, I keep forgetting that that you see.
Canuck, Netflix is
Yeah.
your friend, relatively. Go watch it on Netflix. Watch the original trilogy, the original series, The Next
Yep.
Generation, Deep Space Nine. Watch Voyager at least once, and watch Enterprise at least once, and then you can just stop after that.
Well, all right. Well, see, it's kind of a point to be proud of now that I've made it this far in my life.
I was like, I've made it this far. I will
Yeah.
make it the rest of the.
You
Unfortunately-
absolutely should watch it because it's good experience, and life is all about experience. So
That's true. That's true.
There was another like Star Trek project that was going on a few years ago. And like due to internal struggles and also the fact that CBS just basically stomped on it. You're like, oh, you're like infringing on our copyright. More than likely, like we can't have this competing with the dog shit that you've got lined. But I think it's still on YouTube. I encourage people to go up and look like the early like production like trailers and like shorts for Star Trek Sonar.
Hmm.
Mm.
I never heard of that. What's the premise?
Basically, Star Trek Axanar. It's a movie detailing basically the first Federation Klingon War.
it's a fan film, but a high quality fan film. Like almost, it's basically Hollywood TV studio level filming, but it's a fan film based on Star Trek, and CBS still somehow got it pulled, despite the fact that they weren't making any money off it.
Yeah, they called the project. But basically, the whole premise of is that like it's set during like the first Klingon Federation,
Hmm.
and it's leading up to the pivotal battle of Axum. where the Constitution class starships, like the Enterprise and her sisters, basically first came online, eventually turned the tide of the war, which is fake.
That might be fun.
I said it looked really good. It looked really good, and yeah, it'll never happen now, and it's a fucking shame.
Yeah, all because CBS decided to bury them in litigation.
Like they even went to CBS. It's like okay, if we hand it off to you, like, can we still do this? Like, can we, like, no, fuck you, we're not doing it.
Oh god.
And then
It's
we got Star Trek
disappointing.
Discovery.
Yay!
Damn it.
When they were,
Honestly,
when I-
don't watch
when
New
they were
Trek.
talking-
Watch Orville. That's your best bet for your Trek picks.
Yeah.
Right.
Because unlike the people who are currently writing it, Seth MacFarlane is a fan of Trek, understands what Trek is.
And he was trying to make a comedic homage to Trek, and Season 1 shows that pretty clearly. Season 2, however, shows a much more serious side of the Orville, but it goes really well.
Yeah. It's funny, like, what was originally intended to be a parody is now legitimately a better Star Trek show than the Star Trek shows.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
to
the
be fair,
spirit.
if you went to them and wanted to do an actual Star Trek show, they just told them to keep packing.
Yeah, like this is the guy that you'd want to actually do Star Trek, and instead you're sticking him with Orville, which is the new Trek. It is so much better. Like, the world building is great, but there's enough comedy there to keep your average person entertained too. It's more accessible Trek,
Mm.
but still solid
Yeah.
Trek.
And
Oh,
you know
man.
what? He fucking preached to every fucking episode.
And he does discuss, again, it comes back to the point where you can discuss, you can inject your opinions and raise social, moral quandaries for the audience without getting preachy and doing it well as you tell a good story.
Yeah.
Because again, like, in order to do these moral things, like these moral quandaries, like questions of like self, like that, it has to be done intelligently. And that is something that the writers of New Trek are completely incapable of.
Yep.
Like the episodes where they're fighting over whether or not Data is a real person.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. With these people, it's like, well, does he identify as a real person?
Oh God.
Get out of here.
Right.
We're not allowed to have subtlety anymore. Also, speaking of like adaptations that are coming down the pipe, like, Bezos, forgive me, but if you guys fuck up this planned Lord of the Rings series, I'm burning Amazon.
Don't actually burn Amazon.
I can't. I can't, man. I just can't.
Honestly,
Those films
I've got such low expectations for the Lord of the Rings show
Yeah.
that if they manage to go below that my expectations, I will be shocked and appalled.
I'm afraid they're just going to try and turn it into a fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh, you bet your ass they're gonna try.
Seriously, if they
Depending on which network is doing it, so it's Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, they can kind of get away with doing so. Yeah, you know. network cable stuff in terms of like the gore and but here's the thing, like Tolkien was never about that. Like Tolkien is not George Martin, so
Yep.
you're gonna end up with something like the worst of both worlds.
I would hope so. And again, another show I've never seen is Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones.
You know
Oh my
what?
God.
In this
Lord of the
case,
Rings
you
would
watch
be
Game of Thrones and
I
have to be a
object
Russian.
to that, Larry. I
Lord of the
object.
Rings would be one day of your life. It's worth the time.
Those
Especially if
movies
you
were
get the
about as
extended cut.
good as they could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was such a fan of the books that I didn't want to spoil it, so I was like, no, I'm not even gonna.
Okay, I mean that's her. So I get
No.
that.
I liked the first Hobbit movie, and
The
my hopes were
first
really up, and then
the
the other
first
two
Hobbit
kind of
movie was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. It should have only been 2 movies, to be fair.
It technically
And
should have
there's a
only been
lot of
one,
shit
but
I would have.
it technically should have only been one movie, but I think it would have done better as 2 movies. 3 was
2
just a
movies would have
fucking
been right.
mistake. 3 was a mistake, flat out.
The last movie in that trilogy is fucking abysmal.
I didn't even
Oh,
watch
absolutely.
2 or 3 because when I learned they were doing 3, I was like, oh, it's just a money grab.
Ha!
Like Lord of the
You can't be
Rings, the
surprised.
Lord of the Rings movies, they cut out
Fuck.
they cut them out a fair amount of stuff, but they cut out actually they didn't cut out that much. They just did a really good job of working it in and reworking
Yeah.
certain aspects of it to work better.
You know, like, I can tell you, like, for certain, like, certain things they like cut out and change. Like in the books, like the Army of the Dead, like they only help to get the ships back, and they don't actually show up at the battle. It was basically Aragorn took the ships to get the armies of southern Gondor, along with the remaining Rangers, and then he brought them back, and they, with the Rohirrim, kind of caught what's left in a pincer, destroyed them. Also, the battle with the Black Gate was different than how it happened in the book. They completely cut out Saruman taking over the Shire.
That seems
Yeah, but
it's important.
I mean, kind of. Like it basically it ends the same way with Saruman getting stabbed in the back. Tongue is just it happens at Bag End instead of Isengard.
It also does depend on if you watch the extended version or if you're watching the theatrical release.
Yeah, the extended versions are the versions.
Yeah,
Period.
they are absolutely the versions to watch because in the theatrical release they just go to Sauron's up in his tower. That's where we're gonna leave it.
Tom Bombadil was not. He really
That would
was.
have disappointed me, so I'm glad I didn't see them in the theater.
I mean, like, even in the books, Tom Bombadil was one of those things where it's just like, okay, Tolkien, what the fuck are we doing right now?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, he was
I mean,
flat out superfluous.
he's
But,
a man in a blue coat with yellow boots that sings songs. And he lives with his wife. And, like, he invites the hobbits, like, to, like, pick some flowers for her. And they have a dinner of white bread and butter and honey. All kinds of other nonsense. And also, like, it kind of fucks with the stakes of the ring as well. Because, like, the ring is built up to be, like, this incredibly evil, like, all-corrupting influence. Something that even Gandalf will not go anywhere near. And in the book, fucking Frodo, like, pulls the ring out, and Tom's like, Oh, you got a magic ring? Here, let me see that. He takes the ring from Frodo, looks at it, and is like, that's neat, and hands it back. It's like, what the fuck? How did you do that?
See, there he knows. He hates singing. Still loves Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil. Yeah, like, Tom doesn't make any sense.
No,
He's never explained. And after they leave the fucking woods on the outskirts of the Shire, he's never seen or referenced again.
Yep.
So, like them cutting him out of the movies.
total sense. Makes total sense.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ass mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all the singing in Tolkien's work, again, you had to remember the man looked into a lot of actual oral traditions and folklore, and a lot of shit was passed down as songs.
And the man was a fucking linguist.
Yeah, again, that's just the kind of shit he studied. Yeah, like sagas and shit. It was part of the material that influenced him. Like, for us, it kind of comes off as weird, but it made sense when he did it.
If they were saying they wanted to adapt the Silmarillion,
oh,
I mean,
it's a nightmare, dude. There's no way of doing it.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
I agree. There's no way of doing it. Even for people who like Tolkien's work, the Silmarillion is a fucking issue.
That's a tough one. That one took me a long time to get through.
It's more like what it is. It's a fucking text.
Yep.
On fucking Middle Earth shit. It's just, oh my god.
Pretty much.
And there are certain passages in it where it's fucking numbers from the Bible. It's and then there's this guy, and then he lived this long, and he had this son, and he did this. It's oh no. No, I don't want to.
Yeah, that one wasn't a leisure read. That was like a study.
Great. He's fucking great in those movies. I love John Rhys Davies.
Yeah, I don't know what Larry's on. I actually do like the dwarves and the.
Now the dwarves in the Hobbit movies suck.
Fuck off, sir.
No, they look like fucking hobbits.
No, not really. They're a lot more boisterous. They're like the whole work hard, play hard thing. Whereas the hobbits are more like discreet, hedonistic homebodies, kept to themselves. And dwarves in that time period are kind of like nomadic, like those people.
Not all of the dwarves are nomadic.
I mean, it's because they no longer had the homeland. That wasn't always the case. Then they went back to having one. Yeah,
there's dwarves that have strongholds in the Blue Mountains, and you have fucking Dane who has his strongholds on the Iron Hills.
So they like singing a lot.
It's just specifically the Longbeards. I'm getting into Tolkien.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the Longbeards, which are the first and greatest of the houses. Founded by the first of the dwarf fathers to awake during the Belfast. They originally came from Mount Gundabad, because that's where Durin awoke. And they would set up in what would become the kingdom of Khazad-dûm, later called Moria after they went Balrog fleet.
Somebody always has to flip it up.
After they lost Moria, they wandered for a bit until they found the Lonely Mountain. And that's where they created the new kingdom of Erebor, which became the new seat of Longbeards, until fucking Smaug showed up. And then, like they have the quest with, Bilbo, and they eventually reclaim the mountain. And like that's another like minor thing that comes up in the fucking Lord of the Rings is like Erebor is laid siege to by the Herodime, I think. Like basically evil men in Sauron. They lay siege to Erebor and they get fucking humiliated. They get their asses kicked and basically have to crawl away with their tails between their legs. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry.
The hobbits are gay. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, we're going back there. That's like
Samwise!
the end of Lord of the Ring. Yeah.
Damn it, no. They're not gay. I will not hear that fucking argument. God damn it.
Frodo!
I feel like Larry just found the perfect way to troll each other.
You Rimshee.
I don't know. I'm kind of with Kevin Smith here. That scene where Frodo's in the bed and everyone's around him. The way they all just start looking at each other.
Orgy!
Yeah, would have been less gay if there was an orgy.
What the fuck ever. Fuck you guys.
Gay, merry, and bright.
Those movies are great. The casting was fantastic. The effects still hold up fairly
the
well.
production value of that thing is amazing. Peter Jackson is slavish about detail, and it shows.
Peter Jackson.
He did them so well, put so much into it, so much attention to detail, that I am convinced that nobody can do it better than he did it.
I mean, he and Guillermo del Toro have the same thing, which is he knows when to delegate. He has an overarching vision, but he knows he can't get everything right. But he can get the people who can get those details in, and he just guides them. And that's why it looks amazing. A lot of people don't have that kind of sense.
Drive.
Yeah, that too.
Anyway, fucking Peter Jackson lost. I think he ended up losing like somewhere close to 100 pounds in the course of filming those certain movies.
Yep.
Just the sheer amount of stress that he was under.
I mean, you would be too if you're trying to do the Lord of the Rings and make it a hit.
Yep.
They were some of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Yeah, really good movie. Really worth watching. The extended cuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is among my favorite movies of all time.
I actually like Watchmen. Yeah, it's kind of slow at points, but I feel like Zack Snyder did fairly well with them.
He did what he could. I mean, for an otherwise really almost impossible movie to adapt because it's made specifically to be the best comic it could be in format by Moore.
Yeah, format does have to play a huge role.
It's the least cinematic story you could think of, and he made it into a movie, so I have to give him credit for that.
I say, I'm usually not one to give Zack Snyder credit. But he didn't do badly with Watchmen.
Just demand cash, and he pays you.
Yeah, Larry. Faithful doesn't mean entertaining. The reality is
Tom Bombadil's not in the fucking movie.
The reality is that you have to adapt the story to the medium. Like in a book, you can spend a good page describing a person's outfit, and it's still considered an interesting story. You spend 5 minutes showing off someone's outfit, you in a movie or a TV show, you've killed your entire film or TV show. You're just done at that point.
I'll give you an example. Like the World War Z movie was absolute dog shit,
Yeah.
and I don't think they could have done much better. They could have done better, but not. They could have done better, but it still wouldn't have made a good movie if they adapted it faithfully. Whereas if you did it as a TV show, it would have worked.
Yeah.
Like, that's been my argument for it.
Combat is another example of something that you have to do differently in a movie or a TV show as compared to a book. A book, you don't necessarily have to describe every single hit. Oh, he turned and hit him again. Oh, he turned and hit him again. But you can describe the way it looked. You can describe the way how the air blew past, or this, that, or the other thing. But you don't necessarily have to describe in detail every blow. Whereas in a movie, if you're not physically planning out every attack and how that or how every attack, every punch, every kick, every flick is gonna look on camera, and you don't take the time to figure that out, you're killing yourself.
And that's the other thing, is like, Larry, like, it wasn't going to be the novel. That was never Peter Jackson's intention when making films. He knew he couldn't make them fucking novels. That was fucking impossible. He has made the best adaptation he could with the time, resources, and people available.
And it was
And I think
really
he did
good.
He did a stellar fucking job. Those are some of the best movies ever made, in my opinion.
Yep. Absolutely true. Lord of the Rings movies are some of the best ever made, specifically the extended cut.
And if anything, I would argue that those movies did a lot to reignite interest in the novels and Tolkien in general.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, how many people went and read the books because of the movie? And how many kids ended up reading the book because of the movie?
That's a really good question.
I'm not-
Adaptations have their place. Not everything has to be original. And after a certain point, not everything can be original.
And that there are certain things that don't need to be remade, that's for sure. And a lot of shows have been showing that
Yeah.
lately.
Which is my
Nobody
argument. Like,
needed to
we
rethink-
already had an adaptation of The Lord of the Rings. And it was probably about as good as we were going to hope to get. We don't need.
Right.
You know, just like, you know, I wasn't excited at all when I heard that the new It movies were coming out. It's like, they're not going to be able to do it with fucking 2 movies. I don't care. If you're going to adapt it, which you can't, you just can't.
Right.
There is certain shit in that novel that you cannot put.
Oh, let's not.
screen.
Yeah.
I'm
let's
not going into details, but everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Have you seen Netflix's lineup lately?
We're
That
not
is
getting
the
into
that
that
is
part.
that is exactly
But not
why
even
I
just
said when I said Netflix is your friend, I paused and said, kinda.
Kinda.
The only way that you could do that fucking book justice is if you were to do like at least I'd say like a 10-part series, like of hour-long fucking episodes.
Yeah. Don't disagree. Like something, you have to understand which format works better for some things. You know?
Yeah. And how sometimes both formats could work, because there are some geniuses out there that can adapt a book that no one would think would ever work as a movie or a TV show, and or it wouldn't work as a movie, but it'd work as a TV show. There's some people who could absolutely adapt a book to that type of book to be a movie, or vice versa.
Yeah. Just
The issue is that those are so rare and so few and far between that good luck.
Yeah. Basically, not everybody is Peter Jackson adapting The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, like, of course, like Stephen King adaptations in general aren't very good on the whole.
Right.
Like, you have a couple that don't do so badly, like The Green Mile. That one's all right. They did pretty well with that one.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
really good movie.
The one that has me really concerned is they're talking about adapting The Talisman. It's like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I don't see that one going overly well.
That's like one of the best fucking like adventure / horror novels ever written.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a fucking masterwork from fucking King and Peter Straub. I don't know about that one. That could so
honestly,
easily be.
given that the
I mean,
biggest,
what they took the fucking Dark Tower.
honestly,
Jeez.
given the
Oof.
big thing in cinema right now is multi movie universes, like the Marvel universe. DC tried to copy that. The monster movies, they tried to make monster movies that copied that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they're not doing it the same way that Marvel did it. Marvel started with, okay, we're going to try and put out a movie that's good. It's going to be Iron Man. We're going to see how that goes. Oh, wow, that went really well. Let's make what was the next one? Was the next one Captain America or
No, pretty sure the Incredible.
this was after the Hulk and all that stuff. They were trying to restart shit. But they
No. There was the Hulk movie in 2008, The Incredible Hulk.
The one with Edward Norton.
Oh yeah, the one that was kinda, sorta, but they.
In the end credit scene, fucking Tony Stark shows up to General Ross
That's right.
and like about the Avengers Initiative, basically.
Yeah,
And that's when we get the first seed of like, oh,
yeah, but they
they're
completely
pleased.
retconned it so that movie is just absent.
Well, it was mainly because they couldn't get Ed to fucking.
Well, that's part of it, but the other part is that they just. It wasn't necessarily the best movie anyway, and
No,
since it was sort of a flop, they're like, okay, we're gonna continue on as if this didn't happen. They even abandoned that that final after credit scene um where it's Stark going at trying to get the Hulk for the Avengers. They abandoned that because they end up in the Avengers trying to get Stark to join them, or they're talking about the idea or something like that. I forget. I'll have to rewatch those.
yeah. So basically, what it was, like, I believe it was Iron Man, and then the Incredible Hulk, and then I can't remember if Iron Man 2 or 3 came out first.
4.
And then you had Captain America, the first Avenger, and then we get the first Avengers.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. That sounds about right.
Because, like, Black Widow is introduced and fucking.
But the point is that they started out
Yeah.
making character movies that led to the Avengers that they could have picked up at any point or just let stand alone and not become a thing because stuff wasn't going well. Instead of just trying to be like, oh, hey, look, it's Superman versus Batman. We're also gonna throw in Aquaman. We're gonna throw in we're gonna throw in the Flash. We're gonna throw in Wonder Woman.
That was the main problem with DC is that they tried to start off like fucking cinematic universe way too fucking quickly.
Because they wanted to catch up.
Yeah.
All they were thinking of, we want that
You know,
Avenger.
like like one of the absolute biggest mistakes that they ever made. This is standing apart from the fact that Man of Steel
Oof. Yeah.
is that they fucking pulled the trigger on one of the biggest moments in DC Comics way too goddamn soon. And that was by putting Doomsday in Superman. You should have saved that.
Yeah. Stick with Superman. Stick with a Batman movie. Stick with a Wonder Woman movie, which Wonder Woman, fantastic movie. It's probably
It's
one
the
of
best one that they've made.
probably the best movie DC put out. That first Wonder Woman movie. I haven't seen the second one. I don't even know if it's out yet. I'm assuming it is.
I think it's been pushed.
But you make those movies. You do a. They've already got the Flash TV show. Why not pull the Flash from that? And have an Aquaman movie, and you can introduce Cyborg as as someone in the Avengers, or not the Avengers, in the Justice League movie, as not having his own, sort of like you did with Hawkeye and and Black Widow. You don't need to have everyone have their own movie at that point. They just need to be interesting enough on their own that people don't hate them.
Yeah, so like I said, like they did the deaths of Superman, which is one of the biggest moments in the history of comics. They did that way too early. Then you have Justice League, and like the villain that they picked for Justice League, Steppenwolf, while not a bad threat, it's just like he's not really a Justice League threat.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, what do they do at that point? It's like, we killed Superman in the last movie. It's still way too early to bring in fucking Darkseid. And like, we can't do Brainiac. Well, Brainiac's done to death, and we have no fucking background for him.
Yeah, it's an issue with figuring out what you can do. Gotham was good when it started out. It got very convoluted and hard to follow.
Yeah, and let's not even talk about that.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
I've watched the entire series, coverage of it basically with the EFAP boys. That has got to be the worst superhero product I have ever seen. Like the amount of people that she gets killed over the course of the first season is fucking staggering. It's horrific. It's so bad. Yeah, I agree with TLX. Marvel can't tie into TV, and the TV can't unfuck the DCU.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this was fun, but I'm gonna have to head off.
Yeah, well, I'm
Really
just
good.
waiting. We're just waiting for Nick to go live at this point. But yeah,
Yeah.
honestly,
We're just
Marvel's biggest issue is TV shows. It can't do TV shows all that well. DC, on the other hand, does great TV shows. They can't do a movie to fucking save their life.
well, they do some great TV shows.
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
Batwoman.
Okay. Yeah.
Also,
Some of the
Crisis
some
on
TV
Infinite
shows.
Earths crossover. Oof. Oh, wow.
Oh, they fucking had Supergirl is in a completely separate universe than the Arrow and the Flash, who are in the same universe, but they'll do universal crossovers between the Flash and Superwoman or Supergirl every so often. What the fuck? There is some weirdness with the DC TV shows, but at least they're entertaining. Whereas their movies are just like, why are you cramming so much shit in?
The Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover still has one of the single most insulting, like, fuck you to fans moments I've ever seen, though. Because they bring in Kevin Conroy to play an evil, like, bitter Bruce Wayne who gets killed by Batman. It's horrid. It's like, hey, it's Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman from Batman the Animated Series. He's a fucking dickhead, and this woman that you don't like is going to kick him into something and he'll be electrocuted to death. Yay!
Oh.
What do you mean people don't like us? What do you mean they're not watching? They all must just be bigots.
Right. Summary.
It's a special time.
Is it special?
Yeah,
Really?
kind of is, maybe.
We're talking. Never mind. I better not.
Don't delete us, Twitch.
Right.
No one watches us, but we still want to keep the show.
Like, I almost said it, and then I'm like, ooh, Twitch. Nope, better not. Oh, and then I cussed. Yeah, great. Anyway. Yeah.
It started out slow, but I'm actually pretty happy with this. The show didn't turn out too bad.
Yeah, started out slow because we're like, what the hell are we gonna talk about? So much is not going right. Oh, let's just talk about movies and bitch about movies. Well, actually, let's start off with Star Trek. Let's talk about Star Wars. Let's talk about Orville. Let's go on to Lord of the Rings, and let's just talk
And then
about
talking about how
DCU and
Larry is
MCU.
wrong.
Yeah, Larry, this was the Nerd Fest stream, but it actually was more than a mod stream.
Pop culture always.
Yeah, no, but it's been great. I like talking about it. Anyway, I'm gonna put it.
That's a controversial opinion there, TLX.
Oh, Villain Ted 3.
Larry pays. That doesn't necessarily mean that Larry is right.
But, you know, Larry is.
We enjoy
really
your money,
top
but
of
fuck
the
Rip.
Larry's the godfather of the streams.
He is the patron saint of patron saints. The fuck? Are you having a stroke over there, Rimshee?
No. I'm just wondering if Nick's gonna respond to me.
uh,
No, I'm not Jables, but please talk to me.
Please answer me so I know if I need to stop things or if you're actually gonna do a show. He's probably just running a bit late.
Yeah, he said 9:30 he'd be going live.
Oh, so we got
9:30?
another few minutes.
Another 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck this, I'm out.
Oh.
You're all on your own.
Unless you want to bitch about some other movies or something along those lines.
No, like, I was just kind of like making my points about some things. you know, honestly, I'm kind of hopeful that this whole crisis that we've had is going to result in some permanent changes in Hollywood.
Hope so.
Because the thing is that like with the amount of money that they've lost already, and the amount of movie theaters that are closing down all over the world, potentially permanently, like they're going to have to be hyper focused on profits from here on out. So maybe we'll finally get less of these horrible fucking like reworks or rewrites or vanity projects that have been polluting cinemas for the last few years. You know, because like, here's the thing: the woke bullshit or like the woke reworkings of classic movies, they don't fucking sell. You know, look at all the things, just like a list of things that they've ruined in the last 10, 5 years, whatever. You know, Star Trek, ruined. Star Wars, ruined. Doctor Who, ruined.
Oh god, that's gone.
Ruined.
Holy shit.
Terminator, ruined.
Because of subpar writing.
Yeah.
Or writers that have active contempt for the people that actually care about these properties.
And the property is contempt for the property itself.
Like that was the case with Terminator Dark Fate.
And that was also the case with Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that also be the case with Captain Marvel? Well, I mean that whole movie thing was just I haven't seen the movie. I mean, like just all the crap that happened around it was just.
You don't want to get added.
Well, then I'm glad that became.
His basic opinion on it is like fuck you Disney and fuck you Brie Larson for ruining my favorite Marvel. Fuck.
Oh damn. Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
I haven't even seen it because I've stopped caring.
Like I'm mad at Disney because of what they did to Star Wars. Like Star Wars was one of my favorite things ever. Right? And
you have the fucking Golden Goose, the Cadillac of fucking brand. And now it's worthless.
Right.
The toys rot on the store shelves because no one cares.
Mm-hmm. And then they made like the Star Wars land that they basically made could have been so great, could have been just fucking amazing if they'd gone along with what they originally planned. Because originally it was supposed to be Tatooine, from what I understand, and then instead they made it into what it is. It's not what it was supposed to be, and I like, my God. But then again, see, I'm that nerd that played Star Wars Galaxies, the online game, and fucking loved it. It was so much fun. You know, so I miss that game too.
You have Kathleen Kennedy, who is like taking pot shots at Marvel.
She's a mistake.
Oh, you know, like she's like she literally said about Marvel, like talking about like the Star Wars movies. It's like, oh, we don't have like a whole bunch of like comics to like draw stories off. It's like, yeah, because you threw them all away.
Right? Yeah, like
you created this problem for yourself, you stupid bitch. And you know, like that's really fucking sickening to me. Is that George Lucas handpicked her to oversee Lucasfilm after he sold it to Disney to make sure that like his property was well taken care of, and she immediately stabbed him in the knee.
I really don't like these people.
The
They've
ones we're talking
ruined what I love.
Yeah.
I just get like everything I love is fucking been tortured and burned at this point, pretty much. You know, the recent Predator movie was fucking horrific. Oh my god, it was so bad. And as someone who is on the autism spectrum, fuck you. Autism is not fucking superpowers. I get so fucking tired of that shit. Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen the newest Predator movie, it's basically the Predators coming to steal our autism. That's the plot.
The Predators do what?
So what?
They come to Earth to steal our autism.
To steal our autism.
Yeah, that's the plot. That is literally the fucking plot.
That is sus as fuck.
Oh my.
Yeah, sounds kind of
It's painfully unfunny. Oh my god.
Why would you?
Aaron Eckhart is in this movie. And no, not Aaron Eckhart. Thomas Jane. Thomas Jane is in this movie. And they make him like a fucking insufferable I have Tourette's stereotype. God, that movie's bad. Shane Black should be fucking ashamed of that. And, you know, fucking Ridley Scott has ruined Alien even further.
Oh.
You know, fucking Prometheus, I have problems with it, but it wasn't as bad as people say it is. Alien Covenant is fucking irredeemable.
Don't get us wrong. Prometheus is bad,
Like,
but
the director's cut of Prometheus does help plot issues, like plot holes in the theatrical cut. It still has problems, though. But, like, you could have built off of Prometheus, and then they make Alien Covenant. It's just like, no, I'm done. I'm done. You mean to tell me that the alien, one of the single most creative and horrifying creatures in all of cinema history, its origin story is that it was created by an android with a god complex and daddy issues? Huh. Ridley
Kinky.
Scott should not be allowed to direct.
yeah, he made classics. Quit while you're ahead. That's right, Larry. That's right.
He should have fucking stopped after Gladiator. Seriously.
Gladiator was good.
Film since.
Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with that statement.
Like that fucking that Robin Hood movie he made with Russell Crowe. Fuck.
Russell Crowe was in a
Oof.
Robin Hood movie? Did I fucking
Yes.
block this from my memory?
Yes, he was.
I must have fucking blocked it from my memory. Although I don't catch the trailers for a lot of new movies and TV shows these days because I don't have TV anymore. I don't get ads on YouTube videos or anything like that. So I guess I hear about it from you guys.
And also, you're like one of those people. Okay, Kingdom of Heaven was all right. I wouldn't say it's his best work, but it was all right. Again, like it's another one of those movies where like the director's cut adds some much needed context to it because the theatrical cut is just like, okay, where are we going now? Also, it has Liam Neeson in it briefly.
Let me guess, he's the stripper.
No, I wouldn't say that Kingdom is a real classic. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, and like at the same time, I'm not saying that people can't like movies because like that's one of the like biggest fucking see from people trying to defend like really good movies like The Last Jedi. And it's like, why can't you just let people like something? It's like, I'm not saying that they can't like it. You can like a dog shit movie. That's you, man. You do you. It doesn't change my opinion that it's a dog shit movie. You know, I like movies that are considered to be bad. I'm a fucking Godzilla fan. Huge Godzilla fan. No one would argue that the Godzilla films are good movies.
No, they're terrible, but they're wonderful at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking like the most recent one that came out, like Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it objectively, yeah, it's a terrible movie. I had a fucking blast though.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, that's the point. It should be fun, right? It doesn't have
Yeah,
to
like,
have.
I went into that movie with the promise that I was going to get to see scenes of giant monsters beating the piss out of each other, and I got what I wanted.
Yep.
And I cannot wait for Kong versus Godzilla next year.
Yes.
Because Kong Skull Island was fucking great.
Yeah, they're fun, right?
It was like a Vietnam War movie meets a giant. Fucking awesome.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
I'd recommend it.
Don't shoot me. I like some fun movies.
Yeah. It's got a fucking it's got a great cast.
Yeah.
You got the guy who plays fucking just forgot his name. The guy that plays Loki is like the main in it. Yeah, you got Tom Hiddleston, you got Samuel L. Jackson, you've got fucking oh shit. John Goodman. John Goodman's in it. And and I forgot the other dude's name too. Shit.
It looked like it was going to be a really good movie. I didn't make the decision not to watch it. I just haven't gotten. I haven't.
Rimshee, who's the other guy from Step Brothers? Not Will Ferrell.
I don't know his name off the top of my head, but we have the internet.
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly, that's it. Thank you, Canuck. John C. Reilly is great.
You know, I've never seen Step Brothers the whole way through.
It's so fun.
Like
John C. Reilly.
I've seen the
he's
start.
basically
I've seen parts from the middle. I've never seen the end.
But basically, John C. Reilly, he's basically this. He's a U.S. fighter pilot who got shot down in the Second World War and has been trapped on the island ever since. He's probably the best part of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's okay to like bad movies.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I kind of argue with people. Like people say, like, "Oh, Star Trek Generations is bad." I like Star Trek Generations.
Compared to modern Trek, I don't care what old movie you're talking about. It's, by comparison, a masterpiece.
Like there's some parts in the movie that don't do very well, but I personally thought that the interaction between Picard and Kirk was great. It was a real treat to finally see those two on screen, like having a dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing like how their different personalities conflicted against one another.
Well, there's also a clear difference between a more cavalier attitude of Starfleet versus the more reserved and structured attitude of Starfleet.
Yeah, like these
'Cause-
men are from different eras.
Yeah, how often does Kirk go down to a planet and get into a fight, or get bang some green or blue or orange alien chick? All the fucking time. How often does Picard do it? Almost never at the same time as his second officer, I tell you that much.
All the ladies line up for Riker.
It's because he's Alaskan.
Right.
Yeah, yet another actor that got dragged into Picard. Out of both. Why, Jonathan?
Dude, I just love the fact that growing a beard became the opposite of jumping the shark because of Star Trek. Like, you do know the story behind that, right?
No, do explain.
So for the entire first season, Jonathan was shaving his face because, that's what the script called for, or something along those lines. But if he's not filming or anything like that, he likes to let his beard grow out because he likes having a beard. But he knows that, show business, sometimes he's going to have to shave it off. Well, he comes in first day of rehearsals or something along those lines for the second season, and they're looking at him while he's reading lines. They're like, "Yeah, don't shave that off. Keep it. We want it on the show." And it just so happened that same season, there's a noticeable uptick in the quality of the writing of the episodes. And so because the most noticeable thing on screen to correspond with that coincidental increase in the quality of the writing was Jonathan having a beard, it became known as growing a beard, just like how jumping the shark comes from when it comes from, what was it, when Fonzie jumps a shark in an episode, and that episode, that time frame is the time frame where you see a drastic shift downward in the writing of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because anybody who's watched Star Trek, especially the Next Generation, like if they're initiating you into it, kind of like, I don't know about this. It's like, no, just tough it out. Just wait till you get to Beard Riker, then you're good.
Yeah, honestly, that era of Star Trek was really good. Deep Space, Star Trek TNG had some really deep episodes. Arguing with his Picard, arguing with his own conscience about about his responsibilities and what he has to do in certain times. Well, like I said earlier, the Hard Times episode of DS9.
Mm-hmm.
And there are plenty of other episodes where it's just like, holy fuck, this is a really, really deep episode, but it's so good to watch.
Welcome back.
Hi, gimme.
But anyway, and that's another thing. Is Deep Space Nine. It starts off kind of slow.
You don't even have a captain in the show consistently until Sisko gets promoted in season 4.
Yeah.
I think it's season 4.
He's just a commander for the first couple of seasons. But, once things start to get more involved with the Cardassians, and then when the Dominion are finally revealed, that starts heating up. The show gets really, really interesting.
Oh, yeah, it does. But even before that, it's a real interesting show. Compared to the rest of it, yeah, it's slow. But it's an interesting show to start off with.
Yeah, because, much more than almost any other Star Trek series, Deep Space Nine is very character-driven, because you're not in a spaceship bopping around the galaxy going to all these different planes. You're on a space station.
A stationary object. And even when they bring in the Defiant, it doesn't even show up in every episode. It shows it up in maybe so far in the 4th season. It's shown up in maybe a quarter of the episodes.
Yeah, like your primary focus is still on Deep Space Nine and its community and the relationships between the people of the community and the internal politics of the station.
And then on top of that, the politics, the intergalactic politics of that specific region of space between Bajor, the Cardassians, the Dominion, the Federation, the Klingons.
Yeah, because like it's another important point is that the reason why Deep Space Nine is so important is because it's stationed near the only stable wormhole that's known in the galaxy.
To the Beta Quadrant.
So every major power is interested in this particular section of space. Like the station isn't even Federation; it's a Cardassian space station,
which adds just that whole other layer because you get used to it being Cardassian architecture, and then they bring in the Defiant, and every few episodes you see Star Trek tech again, and it's like, oh yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like.
Like there's like this deep strife, like this animosity between the Federation and the Cardassians because the Cardassians had to abandon the station when they started to get onto the losing end of a war with Klingons. Like the Federation basically comes in and like, oh, like, well, this is unoccupied. We'll just take this.
Well, actually, no. What it was Bajor took control of it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bajor took control of it because, and it was politically, they politically chose to abandon the station and give it over to Bajor. But they had also pretty much stripped the planet of all the resources that they had wanted, or at least come close to it. And Bajor said, "Hey, we're not strong enough to handle this shit on our own. Federation, come help us."
Yeah, and like as far as the Cardassians are concerned, like Bajor is still one of their like fucking subsidiaries.
Oh, ha, Larry. We're talking about Star Trek. That's different.
Yeah, you'll have to forgive me if I'm a fuzzy and details. It's been a long time.
Well, I did just watch it. They weren't in war with the Klingons yet either. The Klingon war comes later.
Yeah, I remember now.
And they didn't know about the wormhole until the end of the first episode or something like that.
Because it's the war with the Klingons that eventually pushes the students towards allying.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Nick to get on at this point. He should be hopping on here soon if he's not already.
He said 9:30, damn it.
He said 9:30.
What are you doing to me, Nick?
Just making you wait.
Yeah, he usually starts streaming a little bit beforehand, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, he's been, I think, having problems with OBS lately.
Oh.
Like, he's sitting in his live show chat. I don't think he's actually on review still.
Yeah, he was sitting on live chat for he's been sitting in there for a little while now.
Yeah, there's something written.
Okay.
Yeah, I think after this I'm gonna watch another episode of DS9.
Yeah, well.
What's the next episode I got? The next episode I have is For the Cause, which I vaguely remember based on the image. I could not. I'm horrible with the names of episodes, but I think
Could be.
that's the one where Cisco's girlfriend is caught to be a terrorist or something.
Maybe. Oh, looks like the. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Nick just went live.
Nick just went live on YouTube.
He'll be
Yeah.
live.
So he should be here soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
There he is.
I mean, the show was fun tonight. I think. I
Well,
hope
thank you
everybody
for having
enjoyed
me
it.
on.
Yeah, same here. For
As
letting
much
me be
as I
part
was
of
able
it.
to contribute.
I will happily
Yeah.
talk about Star Trek anytime.
Right.
Being one of those
Yeah.
weird reverse hipster dudes, watching Star Trek or Lord of the
I
Rings
don't watch a
movies.
whole lot of
stuff.
TV, so
All right, we're gonna start the
Yeah,
raid
you
here soon.
are.
Please join us next week on same time, same place for the pre-show again. Maybe we'll have Jables next week, and we won't be completely lost. All right, everyone, we're raiding now, and then we're gonna close out. Later.
Tables.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow. So,